Welcome back, everyone, to another session, a follow-up session, actually, to AI-assisted Dynatrace App Development. Dani, thank you so much for the first session that we did, where you were AI engineering from scratch the following Dynatrace app: suspicious trader check or trades check that is based on business events from easyTrade, an application that we are monitoring. And could you do me a favor for those people that haven't seen the first video? By the way, folks, the link is in the description. Can you just quickly walk us through the stuff that we've built last time?
Sure. We were tracking the suspicious activities on easyTrade application, and we had an input field where you could search for an email and you could see the trades of the user divided by deposits, withdrawals, and suspicious activities. You could also click on any of them and see the detail of this user trade. And on the main page, as we saw, we had the total number of deposits, withdrawals, and suspicious trades in the last 30 days. And we had an issue that it was only showing zeros. And for that also, we were debugging a bit. We told to the AI to show us the query that was popping out this to see if it's the proper one or not.
Cool. And so I think what we try to do today is fix a couple of the bugs, because initially you came to me and you showed me a fully fledged app with a couple of additional features like showing a world map and showing also some links to other built-in and ready-made dashboards. And we also didn't have time to look much into the code. So Dani, I would like to just take it from here and basically guide me through. Let's fix some of the problems, maybe do additional feature development, check out the code. So everything that could be valuable for somebody that also wants to start AI engineering Dynatrace apps.
Yeah, so let's start. We actually, this time, we don't need even to have an extra terminal. We can start the development server from the Dynatrace apps extension from Visual Studio Code. We go here and we click allow for SSO logging to Dynatrace. And this already handles the command for you. And you will see a built-in terminal within VS Code that opens the application for you.
Perfect.
And is watching for all the changes again. So this is all the code we did so far last session. We had some changes on permissions on the app config. We had also a small change on the app because we got rid of the two pages that we had before, the home and the data page. They are gone. As you can see, also a car component is no longer used, so the AI agents deleted it. Then a bit modification on this header. We can see that it's not perfect because it has some linting errors. This is deprecated and could use another component instead. And all the main code is on this file, this new file, the suspicious trades page. It's 380 lines of code that were generated by AI. And to what we show, actually, it's pretty good code. Like there's not a lot of code, and this is thanks to the Strato components design system and the amazing job these guys that are developing this design system are doing, that you have so many components and of every type. Like we have code editors, sheets, tabs, data tables, text inputs, that this allows to have the code much cleaner and not reinventing the wheel.
And also maybe quickly a recap for those that may just see this one and are wondering, you started last time with the demo app, basically, like creating a skeleton app or a scaffolding app to a Dynatrace app, and then you were going into Visual Studio. You have the Dynatrace app extension installed that also comes with an MCP server for Strato. So Strato is our design system, and that means if you're using coding agents, then the coding agents will also automatically get instructions from our agents file that comes also with a default with a new project, but it also has exactly the Dynatrace Apps MCP server, which means full access to Strato, and therefore it makes really good decisions on how to code, that the app that comes out looks and feels like a Dynatrace app. That's really good.
Exactly. Without the MCP and the agents markdown file, the AI would probably reinvent the wheel and create new components. And thanks to that, it's using what it already exists.
Exactly.
No, it's not perfect because, for example, like in this query, it's using the code editor when there's actually a slightly variation of it that is the DQL editor, which allows syntax highlighting for DQL, and we don't have that in the application currently.
Now, would you as an engineer now ask the AI to make that change, or is it such a small change that you would do manually?
Yeah, it's a small change that it's much faster to do it manually. It's just
Exactly.
changing this and that's it.
Yeah. And then
But
also, right, if you change this and if you save it, for those people again that are new, everything that you change, it will automatically be compiled and checked, because we have, yeah, that looks nice. Yeah, now we
yeah,
have the DQL editor.
yeah, we could ask the AI, and for sure, it's a very simple change. She will be able to do it, and we don't need the code editor anymore. So, do you want to undo this, or like to keep 100% AI generated code, or?
No, it's fine. I mean, we wanna keep it as real life as possible, because that really at least shows us that we still also have some active participation, not just human in the loop reviewing. It's all good.
Okay, cool. So what else? Yeah, some also like maybe this code could be divided in pages because everything is in the same page, and like reading through it, you need to get all the context, and maybe we have 2 pages actually, the overview and the list of trades. And yeah, even if you're using AI, knowing a bit of the design system is also helpful. You can navigate here in the developer portal. You have all the components that are available. We have these editors, as I said, DQL editor, filters, filter bar. We have all the charts that are available, histogram, pie chart, time series. So you can, if you know all of this, you can guide the AI, and the more specific you are, it's harder for the AI to make mistakes. So even if you don't know React, you don't know TypeScript, if you know the components that we have on the design system, you can point it like, hey, use this component.
Yeah. So you can say, hey, for this visualization, use the honeycomb chart, or like in this case, use the DQL editor and not just the regular code editor, because I'm looking at DQL. Yeah, that's great. What's next? Shall we fix some problems? Shall we add some new features?
Yeah, well, let's try fixing this problem that we have zeros in here. We can see the query, and well, one way of debugging could be either we ask the AI to have a link to a notebook, or we can do it manually because it's quite quick. We can open a notebook in a new tab and just debug this feature with a DQL tile, paste the code, and see if this is actually right. And it seems it's right.
So the query returns the right values, but for whatever reason, the app itself only produces zeros. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one thing I've noticed is that this is not the right type of this event. Should be start and start, and actually no, actually only for the suspicious event. It's working that. No, yeah, you need to change it also here. Now it's fine. Okay, so this will be like the appropriate query, and maybe we can guide the AI to also add the dot start in the end. But overall, the result of the query for this case should be the same. It just maybe it doesn't contain all the data that we want. And yeah, so let's try to use AI agents to fix this issue. So we can be as specific as we can. It seems that the query for getting the the total records is right, just you need to add dot start on the end of the types, but still is showing zeros on the UI. Could you fix it?
It's really interesting to see how polite we all of a sudden become.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know if being polite helps you. There's people that shouts at AI, and that it will be interesting research to do what's better.
Yeah.
Done.
Cool. And
That
it
was
seems
fast.
it found two things, right? It added, as you suggested, this dot start at the end of the event type, so that's great. And then it also found that there is like a wrong type. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It seems like there was checking for time number, and these were strings. So actually, it was always showing the zero. So it was an error on the TypeScript code. Let's see if actually this fixed the issue. We can restart. And there it is.
Great. Here we go. Cool.
Amazing.
Nice. And what I also like, and I think you never asked it, but it by default has chosen the color red for suspicious, because that's obviously a bad thing, but it automatically picked, because I
Yeah,
think we never asked it to pick the red color. Yeah.
yeah. That's something where maybe we could polish in the end, but it already did it without asking it, which is great.
Cool.
Cool. So let's continue. Then next thing we can do, for example, is adding the map. No.
The map would be great, yeah. So because I remember the app that you showed me initially. You also had a world map visualization of the geolocation of the person that did that trade.
Yeah. Okay. So on the detail view, we can tell to add tabs. One for location. So on the trade detail view, add a tab for showing the location details, city, country, IP address, and display the location on a map chart. Since I know that the map chart from Strato needs coordinates to paint something, and the Vise event doesn't have these coordinates, we might need to use an external API for parsing this city to coordinates. So you can use an external API to parse the location into coordinates for the map.
Cool.
Like OpenStreetMap. If we tell him which one to use, better to not to just to be safe.
Wow, I just fetched the documentation pages and is now analyzing it. Cool.
This is the hardest feature. It needs some time.
Yeah.
Okay, it's over.
It's over. Yeah, it took so for the folks that are watching, we cut out a couple of minutes because it was working for the last couple of minutes to figure out how to build a function in Dynatrace, because you asked it to create a function to convert or to get the location. But it was impressive to look at. Yeah.
Yeah, this one is the hardest feature. It needs some time to figure it out, and it seems like it did something that more or less makes sense. We have here the API function that is actually calling OpenStreetMap API as we told him to do, and well, it's searching for the coordinates, sending him the address, and then also added city and country, It seems like here city and country and trade detail content. It seems that, yeah, it's using map view from Strato. And let's see if it actually works. Unexpected error. Okay, it doesn't work. Let's inspect. Maybe it's because maybe it's stop the development server. Let's start it again.
Could it also be that you need to enable and allow outgoing calls to OpenSearch, to OpenStreetView?
Not for local development.
Yeah,
Because
that's
it's
right.
on the app function, it should not be needed. Yeah, it seems like it's failing to build up functions. Okay, I think it didn't create properly the app function. It's missing to create some files. So let's try to troubleshoot a bit, sending him the stack trace. The error. It seems that it's missing some configuration for the TypeScript files.
Yep.
Now it's there. Now we start the server again.
It says try running the dev server again. Cool. Yeah.
And now yeah, it seems to start to compile. See, now, okay, we have the same thing than before. We have this location tab
Cool. Yeah.
that it opens the location details, but city and country and IP address are not there. And I believe that's probably because it didn't took the change properly that we said so before. Maybe we can review the code slightly, like for deposit.start, this query as well. Yeah, it seems that it's the right one, but probably these fields do not exist like this. So let's keep the changes for now, and let's say like the map is not displayed. It seems that the fields from city, country, and IP address are empty. Check out if you are using the right type or the right attributes. Maybe there's another or similar name to be used. The more we can guide it, the better. And let's see if the result. Okay, so yeah, the actual field names in the list events are geo city name, geo country name, and client IP. So instead of city, country, and IP, and now it updated the DQL.
Cool.
And let's see.
And the cool thing is, everything gets automatically compiled
Yeah.
behind the scenes. Yeah. Here we go. Wow.
There it is. There it is, the map. It's a bit zoomed in. If we zoom out, we can see it's in Poland.
Wow.
Warsaw. And this is the Strato MapChart component.
Yeah. So that means we now know a city, country, and IP address. It found it because it was looking at the wrong busy event fields, but then with that information, it made a call to OpenStreetMap and retrieved the location, like the coordinates, the GPS coordinates, and then with that, it is feeding the data to the map. That's really awesome. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing it got broken here, like I think this is from the first prompt that we sent when changing the type. It's that this is no longer working, so we can also quickly fix it. Looks like the.
I think I know what the problem is already because you had it earlier in your notepad. I think it's the filter in the DQL query.
Yeah, looks like deposit and withdraws are showing zeros on the tabs of the table list.
Can you do me a favor and click over to the suspicious trades?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I already found it. I think anyway. I think the
Yeah,
the filter.
no, not yet.
Not yet, but I think it's in the filter query because it also has to include the start in the filter.
Yeah.
It will figure it out.
It already did.
Oh, they did. Okay, perfect.
Did some change here. Let's see. There it
There we
is.
go. There we go. We're back. Wow.
We are back. Cool.
This is really impressive.
So let's do one more feature, right?
Yeah.
Let's do. We were missing here a list.
We wanted to have an overview. So most of the Dynatrace apps, they show overview, obviously, of the metrics like you had, but then some of them also show ready-made dashboards or some existing dashboards for that same use case or for that same app. So it would be great to get a list of dashboards that are on that tenant, maybe that match, that have something to say with easyTravel or easyTrade, right?
Okay. So on the home page, add a grid of ready-made dashboards, dashboard documents that contain easyTrade as title.
Yeah, perfect.
We didn't specify to link to them. I forgot to add that, but let's see if it does it automatically.
Yeah.
Okay. It's done. Let's see.
I think it said
We need
something
to
about
restart.
restarting the server, right? Yeah.
It added a new permission, so we need to restart the server again. And let's see if it actually added the on-click. I don't think so, but we might need an extra command.
And again, this is also for those people that didn't watch the first one. Every time you change the app config file, when you change the permissions, you need to restart the app.
There it is. Oh, it didn't add them in the. It added them on a new page, but here and actually, yeah, the linking.
The linking works. Yeah, that's cool. So that means from on the home page now we have the link to the dashboards. Yeah, these are the existing dashboards that all have easyTrade in their name, and then we have the existing stuff moved into the suspicious trade. Oh, I just created a new homepage. Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, that's fine. I mean, it's all good.
Yeah. So what I would do now is like we have some screenshots from the real app, and I would like, hey, like the home currently is not looking at all like it was before. Also, it put the dashboards in another page. So
show me that screenshot. Yeah.
We want something like this. This was the original app. We also could add the time frame selector that we can add later on if we want. It's just a component of Strato as well. And
so by the way, this is the screenshot of the app that you showed me initially when you came to me and said, hey, this is something I built. And then I said, yeah, let's build this from scratch. Okay, so now we have the screenshot. And are you now just asking your Copilot to just take this as a reference?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's do it.
Yeah, so let's try to do it. So this could happen as well. If you have a design and you want to build an application, you can get started by sending the design. And here what we can do, it's like drag it out here, and then it appears as recently open. We add it as a context. And we say, currently the home page doesn't look at all like the screenshot. Make it look like it. Also merge the easyTrade dashboards, the email input, and the overview counts in the same page as it is on the screenshot. Let's see what it does.
Yeah.
Okay, it's done.
Cool. Awesome. So while we were cutting maybe the last 2-3 minutes, but it basically parsed the screenshot that you give it and said, "Hey, make it look like this." And let's see what. Ah, wow. Yeah, it very much looks like the
Yeah,
screenshot that you gave it.
yeah. Now it looks like more similar. It has the same icons
Yeah.
everywhere. The layout is very similar, and now, yeah, we can use more prompts to refine to make it exactly, yeah, what
Cool.
the problem with AI is that it's not deterministic, so it's hard to get exactly the same result that you had before. So you need to iterate over it. But for quick prototyping and also for getting something that actually works and it's very similar to what you had in mind, it's very useful. And then you can have an engineer to polish it up, and also at you can add testing, you can review the code.
Yeah. Cool. Dani, I think for me to recap, this means it's impressive on what we can do, even though your prompts, I mean, you try to be specific, but I think you could have been much more specific from the beginning. Most of your prompts were two-liners. The magic is also that we have the Strato MCP server. This is what makes it possible for the AI coding agents to really find the right components. And you just showed the 20 minutes we had in the first session, and now again 20-30 minutes we can AI engineer a Dynatrace app in minutes, right? So folks, if you have an idea, if you already have the data in Dynatrace but you want some specific domain specific use case, then there's no excuse anymore to not build your custom app. The only thing that I would like to highlight as a best practice, not everything that could become a dashboard has to become an app. So really think about what is the additional value add, because also dashboards are great, but for this use case, right, you had the search, you had the navigation to the other dashboards, it just
Apps.
apps, exactly. Yeah. So this makes a lot of sense, right? Especially in this case, this app can then be used by, let's say, in your case, a financial advisor that needs to look up some specific suspicious traits of particular users. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Cool. Dani, thank you so much for showing us this. Do you have any final words for anyone that wants to get started?
Yeah, that you've seen already what is the power of AI agents and Dynatrace with the Strato with the MCPs. So get started. As you said, dashboards are super powerful, so you don't need to create an app for everything. But if there's a use case for it, like this one, it also allows for better displaying of the data in this situation.
And folks, if you get started with this, it would also be great to learn from everyone. What are you building? And also maybe where are you running into issues? You can go to community.dynatrace.com. We have a section there where you can discuss all of these topics and ideas. Also check out the documentation, obviously. And yeah, make sure to let us know. Because
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we will be very glad to know about the apps you've built. We also have an app competition every year that happens at Perform. We give prizes to the best apps of the year. And yeah, if thanks to the AI, you can get started, and feel free to ping us on the community, and we will likely want to know what you're up to.
cool. Awesome. Dani, thank you so much, or muchas gracias. And I hope to have you back soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.